decades have turned the hospitals and doctors' offices upside down. What's all this about? How does this scandal affect you? Tonight we bring you the exclusive inside story told by a former Columbia executive who admits that he himself broke the law.
Yeah, and you and I were both astounded by his allegations. Among them, that nursing staffs were slashed and doctors were paid extra to recruit patients and increase surgeries. ABC's chief investigative correspondent, Brian Ross, takes you behind the closed doors of a healthcare provider that may have cared more about profits than patients.
America needs to know there's a dark side of running a hospital, and it hasn't really been talked about. Let me tell you, this is a ruthless, greedy company, period. Employees are the largest operating expense. Cut that to the bone. Cut nursing to the bone. I mean, cut it to as low as your conscience will allow you. You cut it so low that my wife and I had a plan. If she ever got sick and required hospitalization, we'd go to the hospital across town.
Not to your hospital?
Not to my hospital. I was the vice president.
Until he quit in disgust a year ago, 33-year-old Mark Gardner was a man on the move, a vice president at a company that has made billions of dollars, running the country's largest chain of for-profit hospitals, the Columbia HCA Healthcare Corporation.
I was an outstanding employee. They thought I was the cream of the crop. I was perfect for them. Aggressive. They liked aggressiveness.
Perhaps too much. Columbia, once cheered as a great American success story, tough bottom-line executives buying up stodgy local hospitals, turning them into huge moneymakers. The seventh largest employer in the country, Columbia, once the talk of Wall Street, is now a company in serious trouble. In the last few months, hundreds of federal agents have descended on Columbia, raiding some 70 of its hospitals and offices across the country, searching for evidence that much of what Columbia called aggressive was really criminal, investigating whether committing felonies was an accepted and expected way of doing business.
I have participated and observed felonious activities routinely.
Routinely?
You make me feel very uncomfortable. It's a hard thing to say. It's a hard thing to say, but I mean, it's true.
It's something no one on the inside had ever talked about until Mark Gardner decided to go public, to blow the whistle on what he says was an arrogant corporate culture in which meeting demands for profit became far more important than caring for patients or obeying the law.
I think the company is breaking the law routinely.
It's routine to break the law.
It's routine. Look, Columbia. I ain't going to touch us. We're arrogant. I can do whatever I want. Any executive says. If that's what it took to make money.
Gardner quickly rose through the executive ranks at Columbia to become a vice president at the biggest hospital in its empire of more than 340 hospitals, Sunrise Hospital in Las Vegas.
Sunrise is a flagship hospital in Columbia. Gross revenues of just short of $1 billion.
The hospital, bought by Columbia in 1993, was accredited with honors last year. And among its many well-respected departments is the state-of-the-art neonatal unit, where sick babies are cared for after birth. But Gardner says it was seen as the perfect place to start making cutbacks.
Babies don't complain too much. No baby doesn't know if they're getting bad care.
Babies don't complain?
Babies don't complain.
That was the attitude?
That was the attitude.
Columbia says it always has enough nurses available here. But several nurses told 2020 the cutbacks resulted in more cases of infection. Gardner left Columbia with a pile of some of the company's most confidential documents that lay out in black and white a number of surprising, possibly illegal behind-the-scenes deals with doctors designed to boost profits.
Doctors can make hospitals a lot of money. Doctors are the only one in the country who can really lead a hospital.
So there was this deal, in which a doctor at another Columbia hospital was provided with a so-called production bonus, up to $155,000 a year for performing additional surgeries.
You would actually have a production bonus for a doctor?
Not only, but this particular bonus happens to be for obstetrician gynecologists.
And she would get paid more if she did more cases.
That's what it means. Doctors are human like everyone else. And they're going to do everything in their power to make these numbers. Maybe that next normal birth delivery would be a C-section.
The more C-sections, 2 weeks ago.
That's right.
And in the effort to identify doctors willing to make deals, Gardner says he would actually scour the doctor's parking lot at the hospital, searching for the fanciest cars.
Hey, that guy, he's got a $100,000 car. He must have a lot of patience. Maybe we should have him on our team.
And Gardner says the doctors with the most patients to offer were given paid positions as so-called medical directors, which Columbia says was a legal payment for extra administrative work. But in reality, according to Gardner, was a way to funnel illegal payments to doctors for sending their patients to Columbia hospitals.
I've seen financial inducements as high as
$40,000 a month? And the doctors knew what was going on.
Doctors are intelligent people. They know what's going on.
They have produced these patients.
If the unit is not doing well, the unit only does well with patients, then there's usually a conversation.
Which will go
If the
like,
unit is not doing well, sir, doctor, if the unit isn't successful, then we may not have the money to pay you your fee.
we're paying doctors to get patients.
Basically.
If what Gardner says is true, it would be a clear violation of the law. Such allegations are now part of the federal investigation that has rocked Columbia's corporate headquarters.